Happy 2019. It's going to be an amazing year. So 2018 is in the history books. There's so much stuff that happened between our moving to Texas or moving back to Texas to literally, if you, like every year for us, if you said this is what it was going to be like in the upcoming year, we would tell you that there's just no way, and a lot of things trying to figure out what they mean. So 2019 is this. It is, for me, it's accountability. It is getting shit done, period, and making a way through residual income, through our hard work and our efforts, so that there's multiple streams of abilities, and that we're not just putting all of our eggs in one basket. Like when Tony and I are working together, it's great because we can get stuff done. But what if? Because there's always that what if. What if something were to happen? We don't have the plan in place that needs to be established. So for us, we want to really kick it up in 2019 with having the ability to be able to create spaces for people that are an accent to their existing homes. So I would like to say that they're called she sheds or he sheds, man caves, etc., meditation rooms, whatever it is you want to coin them. But for us, it is a extension of your home, where it's a guest home. It is a place to get away. It is a place to send your relatives when they come in for the weekend, whatever. Or it's a mother-in-law suite. But we are creating the coolest plans. It's all called with a porch. So that means that it has a porch. If it doesn't have a porch, it's not ours. Just kidding. But we're very specific. And then the other thing that we're doing is, because we are in the Texas Hill Country, it's a $1 billion industry for hunting here, and we have incredible plans for creating bunkhouses so that we can build them at our workshop, and then be able to take them remotely to their location, and literally modular can take them back, so they can be there for a time and then be able to bring them back so people can actually rent them, they can buy them, and then being able to create those spaces. Sorry. It's 2019, the first day, and I stayed up late, and it was my last night of staying up past 11 p.m. because one of my other things that I promised myself, and also made a contract with Natalie, my 16-year-old, is we are putting our phones up an hour before bed. We are not having our phones or any technology in our rooms anymore for the whole year. And we are not looking at our phones for the first 30 minutes in the morning, so that we have time to get the day going and to finish the day without having all of that busyness. And so I think it was probably the best thing that we could do. I didn't ask Tony if he wanted to do it, but I figure he's very much in control of everything he does, so he knows when to turn it off. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna have we get by doing this and a couple of other things, we have promised each other a hour-long dance party every week at home, and then also movie night and game night one night a week, and then a walk in the park or up in Guadalupe or whatever once a week with the dogs or without, so that we're really trying to make intentional time with each other as a family, and being rewarded for doing the right thing, which is put the devices up, be interactive. And by doing so, we're just, of course it's a benefit to the whole family. So that was pretty awesome. So 2019, we've got another week left before Natalie goes back to school, and this is her junior year, so we've got a year and a half left with her technically at home. And so we want to be intentional, we want to be plan driven, and at the same time we want to be intentional and have quality time together, because these are precious moments. These days are numbered. Right now I'm going to see my sister, my mother, and my niece down at Panera Bread in San Antonio, and I'm just so excited because I haven't been around family in years, and so my sister lives in San Antonio, and I'm just right up the road. My mom's in town for her, she says it's her 47th, but it's her 70th birthday. So she was here for Christmas, and we got together as a family for the first time in decades, and had a really nice time. So I'm getting to go see them again before my mom heads out of town on the 4th. And then back at, I'm so sorry. Whew. And then tomorrow night, I want to give a shout out to my great podcaster, Rachel Hollis. And she has made her Rise conference available to watch at the movie theater tomorrow night. Actually, I think there's 2 showings. I reserved 4 tickets for the showing tomorrow night about a month ago, because I haven't been able to get to a Rise conference since I started listening to her. And I think that it's nice to be able to take people that might have a little bit of anxiety of going to motivational kind of thing, but Rachel Hollis, she's so real. I love her to death. I mean, her podcasts have been amazing. Her Girl Wash Your Face book was amazing, and I'm so excited to get Girl Stop Apologizing when it comes out in print in March for the regular people like me. And so super excited about that. I am inviting a few people tomorrow night, and I'm hoping that they'll take the invitation. I didn't give them a heads up yet because I didn't want them to have time to look it up and talk themselves out of it. And so I am making Tony go with me, because I want him to also be engaged in knowing what it is that I listen to while I'm working and doing things, because he doesn't like to listen to people talking and, all having that in the background, unless it's just, the news. And I want him to be part of what it is that I'm listening to on a daily basis, because it's transparency. It's, it's expression. It's, it's what's in comes out. And I want him to know where some of that stuff comes from, between Rachel Hollis, Brenda Bouchard, Jennifer Kutcher, the, Oak Hills and the podcast there. There's so many different ones that I'm tapped into that really have had an impact on me, and I want to just acknowledge that, because my journey over the last year has been just, amazing. And for the last few years, all the changes that have happened, and trying to walk out my new life in a transparent mode, and being engaged and being family oriented again, and not hiding a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know I was hiding before, and hiding behind certain things. So, for anyone that's ever had any issues with addiction, with difficult childhood growing up, you have a way, you've got a way of protecting yourself, or making a way for yourself, and you think that you're protecting other people by not sharing things. But the truth of the matter is that we are shortchanging the people that are in our lives by not letting them in, to let them know where we're at, because they weren't there. They weren't there for those experiences, or not all the experiences. And so if they can have a bird's eye of what experiences you've had, that gives them more information to know more about who they are, who they're with. And so, I've been with Tony for 19 years, almost 19 years. Whoa, I'm just like, whoa. And it seems like every day I'm learning something new about him, and I'm also learning something new about what he didn't know possibly about me, and how that, him not knowing those things, has an impact. And by not having exposure to why I am the way that I am, and then trying to get to know how he is. I don't know if that makes any sense. A really dear friend of mine, Dee Roberts, in Florida. Hi, Dee. And I'm going to screw it up, but this is her quote. And she is a lifelong learner. She is a motivational person. She is a lover of positive thinking. And, she's just a wonderful woman. And right now, her battle is taking care of her husband, who is got dementia, who was a doctor, a radiologist, incredibly smart man. And so so her saying is this, before I get any more into that, her saying is, the older you get, the more you become. And there's so much truth in that. There's so much power in that. And so, like, when I talk about Tony and how he's become more and more like maybe his mother, he's become more and more like himself, but his influences, you can see different things where you saw bits and pieces of that when we were first together, and then he grew into all of those things. We all eventually come back around to, you know what, who we are, whatever that underlying is. So the older you get, the more like you become, is so profound. And so every day I think about that, and I think about, of course, when I think about it, I think about Dee. Hi. And just how true that is. And if we can just grab that and, hold on to that, that is so, so riveting. So, like, even with Dee right now, walking through this chapter, season in her life with John, trying to love this man who sometimes doesn't know where he's at, who gets very angry sometimes, goes through all of these things, watching this man that she loves, trying to keep those memories alive, but yet John is acting out exactly who he is, and that may not always be nice. And so I'm stressed for Dee, because I want her to remember the good things for him, because she deserves that. She's given her life to him, and she's done all of these great things for him, and she's sacrificed so much of herself at times to be with him and to be part of his life and be as part of his children's lives, and bring them on as her own, and having that resistance as well, because as most people know, stepchildren aren't, once things aren't together anymore, you're really not together anymore. It's not especially if there's strife in the relationship. So anyway, I pray daily for my friend Dee, because I know, as much as I know, what it would feel like going through something like what she's going through, and there's so much empathy there. And I think the hardest thing for me in leaving Florida, okay, the only thing that was hard about leaving Florida was not being able to be with her. And that guy on the motorcycle just pulled literally right out in front of me, and he had 2 lanes. Wow. So anyway, I want the world for this woman, and I want to believe that her struggle, all of her struggles, are not in vain, and something amazing is in store for her. And I want, in 2019, I want to make it my intention to be intentional with the people that matter most to me. And this past year, actually the past few years, with coming out of addiction, making poor choices, trying to get my family back together, all of those struggles, and just dealing with all of the me stuff, because that's pretty much what it boils down to. I want to be intentional with my relationships. I want